Shut up, face. Yes. Yeah, see, we already rep Patriot out. I literally just got home. Probably like 5 with like 3 minutes left in the game. I was watching the game the whole time when I was on the road though. Had a good LTE, a couple buffers, but good, man. But what's up, YouTube? Your boy, the Great Picture here, DGP, back again with another episode, Patriots post game. This here, we're going to talk about the victory we had 36-17 against the Buffalo Bills, man. Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the great stuff, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas. If you're a Patriot fan, they delivered us the only Christmas gift we care about, and that's winning. So, yeah. So, man, let's get into this, man. So, first off, I like to say this. Tale of two halves, man. So I'm going to talk about the Kelvin Benjamin catch in a second with my thoughts on it, but it was a tale of two halves, and you can kind of look at the stat sheet, and if you watch the game, you can tell there was a tale of two halves, man. First, halftime, we're down 13. Well, actually, it's tied up 13 all. After that Kelvin Benjamin catch that was ruled a touchdown, they then overturned it, and then in the second half, we outscored them 24 points to 3. They missed the field goal in the fourth quarter. I think they went for it again in the third quarter again, but that was a tell thing again. 37-16 is the final score. You might be looking at it and say, "Dang, I blew them out the whole game." From second quarter and on, it wasn't like that. The first half, we did not play our best football. The first half, we played like trash. We played like we didn't want to win. Second half, we came up, we made our adjustments, and we just flat out played great. So it was really a tale of two halves, man. Hey, Gillisley came back, but let's talk about the Kelvin Benjamin catch in. So everybody knows last week, people were still debating: is this a catch? Is it not a catch? Jesse James. So now it's just 5-6 seconds left. Second and goal, I believe. They threw it up to Kelvin. Not in the back, so they threw it to the corner of the end zone. He catches, bobbles, gets the right foot down. The left foot doesn't look like it comes down, but if you see very closely towards the end, a little divot comes up. So that means his foot had to touch the ground. However, they overturned it because they said he didn't have possession of the football when that left foot was on the ground. They said he was still bobbling it. So they said incomplete pass. Me personally, I thought that it wasn't enough evidence for them to overturn it. I thought that, it was so close, and I couldn't really tell just looking at it on my phone if that should have been a catch or not. But I said it probably won't have it stand, which I was okay with, because again, it's not too much conclusive evidence for you to overturn it. And then they overturned it, so I was like, oh wow. And so they had to kick the field goal with 2 seconds left to go 13 up instead of taking the lead 16, or if they missed it, or 17-13 for the extra point, and they could have won by 4 points in the first half, but didn't go like that, man. So coming out in the second half, man, adjustments were made. You get more Deion Lewis involved in the second half. You saw Brady, I think at one point, he was like 10 for 10. I think he might have missed, I think 1 or 2 passes in the second half, which is crazy, man. He came out, was dying. He had a pick 6. And that's another thing. Their only touchdown outside the Kelvin Benjamin play, their only touchdown was on defense, which was a pick 6, which it was more so miscommunication. It was like a 3rd and 5 at our own, like, I want to say 15-yard line. We threw it to Kenny Britt. Brady might have thought he was going to do something. Britt stopped. He thought Britt was going to keep going. Miscommunications. It wasn't the best throw, and Kenny Britt really didn't fight for the football, and they just took it to the house, pick 6, and they then went up 10-3. But after that, man, Brady, stepped up, drove down the field, bam, bam, bam. Shout out to Rob Gronkowski again, the best tight end in all of football. But you guys already knew that if you were smart. The best tight end in all of football again. And going down 25 yards, man, 25 yards, back shoulder fade, one hand catch, one hand snag. Gronkowski, he's that dude, man. He stepped up, played a big role. Markel, yeah. They scored, and then it was and then we just went on unanswered points. Yeah, like I said, I thought that touchdown should have been made. I thought Kelvin Benjamin got his feet in bounds. I thought it was too much going on. I thought it's just you got to give him that touchdown, but they didn't. Rules is what it is, man. Again, that's what happened. But that one hand touch by Gronkowski, man, that joint was fire. And that kind of, gave us some momentum. And again, with that field goal towards the end, the field goal / touchdown that should have been for them. They came out second half, wasn't ready, man. But again, I think the Patriots are watching my videos. I think McDaniels is watching it. So coming into this game, no Rex Burkhead. We knew he was going to be out. No Chris Hogan. He got hurt. No James White. Okay, so now we don't have 2 running backs. We don't have another receiver. And White, who is like our Julian, who has been Julian Edelman light, he's not there. So I said Deion Lewis is going to have to step up. And Gillis is going to have to step up. Gillis is going to have to show us what he's made of. Because he's been in the doghouse. He has to come out. He'll show what he's made of. And I mean, he did what he was doing before, man. He's not that power back. I mean, he did get that 1-yard touchdown, but when we needed him on like a third down play or whatever, he just seemed like he just wasn't getting the right yardage. I mean, he had a couple good runs, but it was either he was getting 5-8 yards or he was getting in the backfield, man. But Deion Lewis, I've been telling y'all since week one, I've been preaching. I've been saying, listen, if y'all want to win, just get the ball to Deion Lewis, man. He's out there. He's explosive. He does what he can do, and that's exactly what they did today, man. Let's look at Deion Lewis's stats right quick, man. Yo, the GOAT, man. Robert Gronkowski, man, best signing in the game. Let's look at Deion Lewis, man. 24 carries, 129 yards, a touchdown. But in through the air, too, he also had 5 catches, 24 yards, and a touchdown. That screen pass was fire. I've been preaching when we get to the red zone, don't go away from Deion Lewis just because that might not be his role or you have a Gillis. I said, nah, ride the hot hand, man. And they finally did that with Deion Lewis, man. He got in, did his thing, and him and Gronkowski took over this game, man. Especially with Deion Lewis at the end when we had that the drive to kind of basically clinch it. We ran the ball about 10 times that drive. And also while I'm thinking about it, we could have had 2 touchdowns actually instead of that field goal in the second quarter. Gronk did a slant route, got open. And safety was coming over the middle. Brady threw in a position where he can catch it. He just threw it a little bit too high. And then it was another time where he overthrew Brandon Cooks on a deep pass, man. Just threw it out just a yard or two too much. That would have been a TD easy. But, we did not think Brandon Cooks has 1,000 yards on the year. Shout out to Brandon Cooks stepping up, doing a big thing. But, yeah, man, this game, first half, like I said, man, this game was a tale of 2 halves. First half, awful, garbage. Defense didn't play that well. Offense didn't play that well again. But after that pick six, offense kind of started getting clicking a little bit. But they was subpar. And I said they don't look like they want to win. They don't look like they want to win. They just look like they're here and they're content with that. Second half, though, the team came out on fire. Again, Deion Lewis and Gronkowski led the way, man. Defense stepped up. Bend but don't break. The Bills missed a 50-yard field goal. This defense scares me so much, man. Like, they just got to keep giving me a heart attack because they will not give up a touchdown. They'll give up all the yards in the world. I'm just like, get off the field. Then they get to the 5-yard line. Then some miraculous way they force a field goal. Like this defense, man, they just be giving me heart attacks, man. No Hightower. Trey Flowers did good today. I see he made a couple plays. But, yeah, no Hightower, man. The defense has definitely never been the same since Hightower's left. This defense has been the same all year. And then the little action he was in there, they still weren't that good. No Hightower there. No Calvin Noy, I believe. I didn't see him today. So we're so thin at linebackers and defensive linemen, man. It's crazy. And I've been saying that is going to be our downfall. It's the trenches, the defensive line and the linebackers, man. Teams can run on us, and you saw that McCoy started getting going a little bit. You see when he got in the passing game, he made a couple juke moves. He juked out the people. Our run game just isn't the best, and especially it doesn't help that we don't have athletes at linebackers and defensive ends. We don't really have the athletes. We have guys who not that the most athletic people in the world. So it kind of puts us in a hard scenario. So I think what we need to do is we're going to need to reboot that linebacking core, that defensive lineman. And I know Belichick loves his linebackers. He's never been a big fan of athletic linebackers. He's always been a big fan of linebackers who can be the run stoppers. And that's pretty much what we've been doing for the past 5 to 10 years, whether it's been a Gerard Mayo, whether it's been the Dante Hightower. Jamie Collins did it every now and again, but Jamie Collins, he was more athletic. But he just didn't want to stay with us for the price we was going for. But we need a guy we need a guy that is like an Anthony Barr. We need a guy like a Shazier, like just somebody who's really fast, quick. We can mold them, and he can be that pass person. But our run stopping game, I feel like we had Hightower. I wouldn't be too worried about the run game because that's what he does. But it's just, man, like when teams want to run the football on us, man, they can do that, man. And especially since we're thin at defensive tackle. But shout out to Malcolm Brown who stepped up, man. He had a couple big plays, had that huge sack. Excuse me. He had a huge sack, I think it was in the fourth quarter, that 1st and 10 made it 2nd and 25. They couldn't recover. That was a waste of possession for them. Yeah, and then the next following drive, we scored a touchdown with Deion Lewis, man. But yeah, man, Malcolm Brown played huge today, had a couple sacks, got in the backfield a couple times, and again, just man, this game, like I said, man, Taylor 2 halves, man. That's really the thing. First half, play like trash. Second half, come out, adjustments, play well, man. I can't say enough about Deion Lewis, man. Facts, Markel. They was getting toasted. Stephon Gilmore got snagged on by Kelvin Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin was, Queen Latifah was eating out there against Stephon Gilmore. But Deion Lewis, man, it's not enough I can say about this man, bro. And I've been telling people this since week 1 that he's the spark plug. He kind of helps our offense going, especially with no Edelman out. He makes the offense going famous. I've been preaching Deion Lewis since day 1, man. Yo, Thompson was eating too early. So like I said, Taylor 2 halves, man. First half, it was easy. Second half, we kind of controlled him. I've been telling people since day 1, since week 1, feed Deion Lewis. And Markel, let's see, am I doing anything next week? I'm gonna get you on one of these podcasts at the thing. Probably around when playoff time come around, I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna do this collab on the podcast. But week 1, man, I've been preaching, bro. You can go back to all my videos, to the podcast, to my tweets. I've been saying, feed Deion Lewis the football. When we get to the red zone, don't shy away from feed him in the short yardage situation because this year we haven't been that good in short yardage situation. Deion Lewis can do that. And on that 4th down play where we ran the football and they said we didn't get the 4th down. Look at that play again. We've challenged it and reviewed it. Deion Lewis was able to get stuffed, but managed to extend the football over because he's an established runner. Extend it over, bring it back. That's the 1st down right there. Then we just kept the chains moving, and we just ended up scoring that drive, man. But Deion Lewis, man, it's nothing else I can say, man. He's our best running back, man, and I think his contract expires at the end of this year or next year, man. Ever since we got him from Cleveland, man, that has been the steal of our past couple years, man, is Deion Lewis, man, because before last year, I think last year was the first time we lost with him in the lineup, but usually when we have him in the lineup, we don't lose, man. We got to keep using him, man, and I'm trying to tell people that he can be a running back that we can use, especially since we run by committee. He can be the guy who can get the carries and also step out and passing like you saw today, man. He's just so shifty, so quick. He can do it all, man. So Deion Lewis, shout out to you, man. I'm going to give you the game ball today. But enough of that. Let's get into this review, man. Let's get into these grades. So Tom Brady, man, 21-28, 224 yards, 2 TDs, and an interception. I'm giving him partial blame on it, but I think I said I don't think he missed a pass in the second half, maybe like 1 or 2. Again, Taylor 2 halves. But 224, 2 TDs, and an interception. This is his 5th straight game with an interception. This is tied for his longest streak since he was, I think, the 3rd year in the league. Like I think it was like 2002, man. So Brady got to get it going again. Some of this is not on him, but he still has to make better decisions. It goes on his stats, so I have to put him for the blame. But I'm gonna give Tom Brady. I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give him a B for this game. Just because what he did in the second half, he didn't really do too much in the first half, but he did okay. He did okay. And again, Brady has such high standards, especially for me. I can't, for a regular quarterback, this could be a B plus, A minus game for them, but for Brady, it's like a B minus. It was okay. It was all right. Running backs, man. Running back. Also, Brandon Bolden, 2 carries, 20 yards. Not bad. You got Gillislee, 6 carries, 28 yards, and a TD. Kind of trash. It was okay. But then again, Deion Lewis, man, 24 carries, 129 yards, a TD, as well as 5 receptions with 24 yards and a TD. As I said before, Deion Lewis, man, Deion is that dude. He's that guy. I'm giving the running backs, man, I'm giving them an A minus today, man, but Deion Lewis gets an A plus out of me, man, because Deion Lewis, man, Deion Lewis is that guy. He's that guy. I'm giving the running backs an A minus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Markel. Yeah, B, like I said, B minus. That that's Brady's on a higher standard, and a pick 6 again wasn't his fault, but I still got to credit him because he threw it. Running backs, I'm gonna give them an A minus, man, just because Deion Lewis Deion Lewis made the running backs get an A, man. I can't let an A+ go to waste like that, man. But Deion Lewis stepped up huge. Tight wide receivers actually. So we had Amendola, Dorsett, we had Cooks. Dorsett for his one catch. We finally got Dorsett in the action, man. He had one catch, 24 yards, where he caught it in the flat, took off, made a guy miss, and got extra 10 yards on that play, man. So Philip Dorsett, we got to use him in the screen game more. We got to, him and Brady haven't been able to connect down the field with the deep threat or the regular passes, but we know he has speed. So why not just use him in the screen game or in the drag routes, man? Don't give him too much. None of the option routes. Just do a screen, do a flat route, do something. Get him involved, because if you get the ball in his hands, he has speed. He can make people miss, as he showed today. Brandon Cooks, 2 receptions, 19 yards. Wasn't really doing much today. Amendola, 3 receptions, 28 yards. Again, I mean, when you give the ball to Deion Lewis and he's getting you 5, 8 yards a carry, I mean, you don't shy away from it. So the wide receivers, they didn't do much today. They didn't really make an impact. Kenny Britt did cost us, but he did have a catch for 16 yards. But that interception, I'm blaming him too on that. So the wide receivers, I'm giving them a C. Just average. Didn't do anything spectacular. But didn't really cost us the game like that. They like I said, they did okay. Run blocking was good. So I'm giving them a C. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Markel. Yeah, man. No fumbles either, man. Hey, Gillislee ain't fumble. That's an A+. If Gillislee fumble, Gillislee ain't fumble, so that's an A+. Like, we didn't have a fumble from Gillislee. Tight ends now, man. Rob Gronkowski, Dwayne Allen, Jacob Hollister, who also got into the action, who I thought we would see more of with the injuries, man. He had a catch for 5 yards, but he also had listen, man, we did a tight end reverse with Jacob Hollister, bro. Like, Josh McDaniels was trying to go in his bag of tricks today, man. He did, he wasn't really that a factor in offense. I want to say Hollister dropped the touchdown. I remember him dropping a pass, or he didn't, or he couldn't catch it. Gronkowski, 5 receptions, 67 yards, and a TD. What's new? Gronkowski, he's that guy. Dwayne Allen had that wide open catch, thanks to Brandon Cooks. And again, that's why I say you got to watch these games and why I do these reviews, man. Because Brandon Cooks on that play with Allen, I think got 20 yards. The safety followed Brandon Cooks deep because you can't leave one-on-one coverage. Brandon Cooks, linebacker, got confused. Dwayne Allen wide open, about 5 yards up and got 10, 15 yards. He's not the fastest. Tight ends did a good job. I'm giving the tight ends a B+ on this game, man, especially because Rob Gronkowski with that one-handed catch, man. Bro, how you 6'6", 270, and being able to do that? Like that is unfair to be able to do that. That is unfair, but, the best tight end in the game, he does what the best tight ends in the game do. So that's it for the for the skill position on offense. Let's talk about the offensive line. They did a pretty good job, man. Brady wasn't really getting hit that much. He had to move around the pocket. Solder ended up playing. I thought he wasn't going to play, but he ended up playing. It's been an illness going on around the Patriots locker room. I don't know what's happening, but y'all going to need to get that joint fumigated. Fleming did okay. It was a really good job, man. So if I could give the offensive line, I'm going to give them a B on the game. They did a pretty good job, pretty decent bang-up job again. Wasn't perfect, but, it was real nice. BB+ around that area. Defensive line. Now, this one is tricky because you're looking at the stats because a lot of this happened in the second half too. I'm putting Flowers as a linebacker. Trey Flowers, he got 5 tackles. Had a couple in the backfield. Malcolm Brown had a sack, couple tackles in the backfield as well. Deatrick Weiss, he had 2 sacks, his only tackles on the game. Eric Lee, he pitched in a little bit. And did we have who was the guy that I was looking at? Lawrence Guy, yeah, a guy. he did okay. But I'm giving the defensive line, man, they did their thing, man. They did okay. They did a decent job. One of the better performances. And again, that's not our strength of our team, but they kind of held Shady McCoy in check. They held Todd Rob for the most part in check. So I'm gonna have to give them a B- in this game, man. Again, they did a pretty decent job. It was pretty decent, man. First half was okay, but I'm giving them a decent job. Yeah, man. 2015, man. That was man. Don't bring up 2015, man. That was a bad injury year, man. D-line, it's C+, B-. I can see that. I give them a B- because they stepped up big in the second half and they held Shady under 100 yards. So I'm gonna give them a B- again. This is one of their better performances on the year. So I got to give them a B-. Linebackers, man. Marquise Flowers, I should say, 2 sacks with 5 tackles as well. And Landon Roberts, he had a couple tackles as well. He didn't really do too much. I'm giving the linebackers a C plus actually in this. B minus, man. Him on the D line, they kind of go hand in hand, especially with no Dante Hightower. Again, no Kyle Van Noy so far. But yeah, I'm giving them a B minus, man. Not too much, not too bad. Yeah, they did a decent job. Secondary, man. Oh boy. So we're gonna go by the first half. They get an F. They get an F first half. Second half, they get a B. So we're going to round it around. We're going to say a C minus. Secondary gets a C minus in this game. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. They did okay. Malcolm Butler, he got himself a sack. Kind of scrambling out. He got him. Devin McCourty, he did okay. Stephon Gilmore was getting his lunch taken, but Kelvin Benjamin, sometimes it's just the receiver's just better than you or just taller. And in some instances, Benjamin just got skied over top of him. Gilmore just seemed like he wasn't there mentally today against his former team. So I'm giving them a C minus, man. Secondary didn't do that great of a job, but they did. It was Yeah, secondary D minus. I mean, I would give him a D minus, man, but we got the win, so I can. Dietrich Wise, he did decent. He did decent. Dietrich Wise, I was saying earlier, he had a couple sacks. That was his only contribution to the team, which was huge. But yeah, Dietrich Wise, he did his thing, man. He did okay. I just can't wait for Derek Rivers to come back because I like Derek Rivers. I like him more than Wise. And with Rivers tearing his ACL, man, I hope he comes back hungry. And if we can have Rivers and Flowers on opposite ends, I think it'll be good. And then let's go into the kicking. Gostkowski made all his field goals, made his extra points. Got no complaints there. Gets an A+. Ryan Allen, the only punt. Can't complain there. I gotta give him an A, 44 yards. Can't complain there, man. So, that's pretty much it with the game, man. Again, it was a tale of two halves. But Patriots came out. We ended up winning, man. It was a good win. Showed a lot of resilience, but defense just has to get better. Offense has to get more insane. We can't have these letdowns early on in the game because we can't do that. Postseason time. But again, Deion Lewis was the one that was eating the whole time, and Malcolm Mitchell. There's no update as of right now on Malcolm Mitchell. They're still, trying to see if he can play. We may see him in playoff time. Who knows? But as of right now, they really don't have anything on Malcolm Mitchell. I would guess, especially with Kenny Britt signing, that he might not return this year. But who knows, man? But again, Malcolm Mitchell, still no update for him. MVP has to go to Deion Lewis. Deion stepped up huge. They finally listened to me, and I feel like that we can win this game. If Jimmy G and the 49ers beat the Jaguars, we're guaranteed a first round bye, which is good. Or if the Texans beat the Steelers, we're guaranteed a first round bye. But if the Texans and Steelers lose, we get home field advantage locked up. And if we get home field advantage locked up, I wouldn't see us playing a lot of these guys. I'll see a lot of guys getting either playing for like a half or like playing like a possession or something and getting benched. But yeah, man. So again, hope you guys enjoyed. Again, feed Neon Deion, Patriots. I know you're listening. Feed Neon Deion in the red zone, man. But yeah, man, go ahead and yeah, man, that's exactly what it was, man. We started out slow, finished strong. But I hate that, man. I hate how we do that. But again, guys, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. And again, feed Neon Deion. To me, he's the MVP. And Rob Gronkowski, best tight end in the NFL, hands down, man. Ain't nobody better than Gronkowski. Leads all tight ends in yards and tied up there with touchdowns. So who better than Gronkowski? But I'll catch you next time. Catch you now. Peace.